Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video I'll be discussing my thoughts on The Time of the Doctor, the 2013 Christmas special for Doctor Who. Now, I've only as yet seen this one time, so I'm really going peripherally. A lot of elements of it didn't really sink in as yet, and I may end up following up with further videos talking a little more in depth about it once I've seen it a few more times. And I could not have seen it at all without thanks to my friend on FB, Howard. Thanks once again, sir. This was quite an enjoyable episode, I felt. I got a lot of laughs out of it. I was actually quite compelled by a lot of it, and was just sort of on the edge of my seat, wondering exactly what was going to be happening, because after all, we know going in, this is Matt Smith's swan song. And, without going in depth, I love that a lot of the lingering questions we've had since Series 5 have finally been answered. We got an idea of where those Silents who tried to go after the Doctor and try to stop him from going to Trenzalore and all this stuff, they were apparently a broken off sect from this papal mainframe that appears in this episode, led by Tasha Lem, who is a very mysterious character, I think. Unless I missed some lines of dialogue, I think they set her character up very interestingly in that, we don't know all about her. Maybe she could crop up in a future, sort of installment as a younger version, a la River Song, something along those lines. But I did think it was really interesting learning that about the Silents. They're the ones who blew up his TARDIS, if I heard correctly. And I like that we finally got payoffs to those things. As well as, I feel like this was kind of almost a best of the Matt Smith Doctor, in that we see him caring for women and children, trying to save them and help them. We see him trying to sacrifice for the well-being of his companion Clara, trying to send her away like he had done with Rose and Amy and things like that. I thought it was very interesting, of course, that we see him super aged. I mean, he's there for, 900 years, something like that? And he's so very old, the hair almost resembles Hartnell's when he's that old and everything like that. And, of course, the idea of the cracks in time originating or being in relation to the Time Lords and Gallifrey, this was quite outstanding to me. I'm not sure if it makes entire amounts of sense with everything we've learned about the cracks in the past, no pun intended, but it does definitely become very much intriguing because Clara kind of convinces whoever's listening on the other side to favor the Doctor, to help him. Because as we learned, it's official, he was on his last regeneration, or rather, his last physical form. He'd never be able to regenerate again. He would die in this form, and they gave him a whole new regeneration cycle. What an outstanding, way to do this. This is something I've speculated many times, but I like that the way they did it was not quite how I assumed it would be, and I was very much surprised by it. I loved Handles, by the way. I kind of almost wish we would see him crop up in the future again as well. But because it's Matt Smith's swan song, we have to talk about that regeneration, the almost unending regeneration, once he has the reboot, so to speak, and he wipes out the Daleks a la Rose, Bad Wolf, but with much more flair. We have a speech that very much sort of embodies the same feeling and awe of, the Pandorica speech and everything like that. And finally, you have those sentimental, sad moments back in the TARDIS once Clara has gone back in. He's reset, he's younger again, but he knows his time is limited as this face. And he says he'll never forget one line. He'll never forget any of those faces he once was. And of course, the last person he sees is Amy. And that was like, that was just so fitting and so touching, good night, Raggedy Man, that kind of thing. And boom, he throws his head back, there's an explosion, Peter Capaldi on the scene talking about the color of his kidneys or something along those lines, not knowing how to pilot the TARDIS. Yeah, freaking awesome. So it's like, it was truly the end of an era, and I thank Matt Smith for so many wonderful hours of Doctor Who television, the people who wrote his Doctor and directed his Doctor and were companions to his Doctor. He did just phenomenal in the role, and I cannot wait to see where Peter Capaldi takes us now. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. If you saw Time of the Doctor, what you thought of it. Was it an epic Christmas special, or did it leave you hanging kind of meh with too many unresolved answers, or what have you? And otherwise, that'll be it for me. I'll catch you later. Peace.